All right, guys, we are recording. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. My name is Ashley Wolmer, and I am super, super excited to be here with you guys tonight. We do this every single week, you guys. This is our weekly call. So if you are brand new to our team, welcome. We cannot wait to meet you and celebrate you, but go ahead and set a reminder in your phone because you don't want to miss out on these. It's just a place for our team to kind of connect, go through training, different things, and celebrate each other. And I'm super excited because tonight we're going to hear from hopefully 3. There's one at a campground right now trying to get service, but for sure 2 incredible, phenomenal women. And I am so excited for you guys to hear their story a little bit tonight. So let's get started with a couple of announcements. So here's the thing, you guys. All right, I want to know who's already earned the yacht. If you've already earned the yacht experience, go ahead and put it in the chat. We want to celebrate you for a minute. Let me mute all real quick again. Okay, let's see. So close, Danae, Jenny, Amen, you have. Congratulations. Mickey, congratulations. Oh my goodness. Nikki, congratulations. Jenny, congratulations. You guys, this is so super. Oh my gosh, Steph just needs one more customer. Let's get it done, right? I'm there right there with you, girlfriend. I need one more. Okay, so you guys, we have 4 more weeks to earn that yacht. 4 more. And if you were on here last week, I challenged you guys to earn it this week, right? You can get on it so that way you can get the rest of your team on it. So same thing. If you have not gotten that spot on the yacht for October, that needs to be your focus this week, okay? I don't want any of you missing out on that. That is going to be an incredible experience to connect and collaborate with sidelines, uplines, downlines, corporate. It is going to be so special. When Stephanie and I were down in Florida with our hubbies for the Directors Summit, we actually got to see the yacht that we're going to be on, and it is huge. You guys, we want to fill that boat, and it is just going to be one of those nights that I know we're all going to remember, actually days, because it's going to be an afternoon cruise. So know what you need to make that happen. Maybe you have your customers and you need to hit 1 star. All right. Maybe it's the other way around. You've already hit 1 star, but you need to go get those 5 customers. Maybe you've done that, but you need to purchase your ticket to Emrys Live. Get that done, you guys. Cross that off. It always feels so good when you're able to cross something off of your to-do list. So let's get that done now. Okay. Before we get into the meat of this Zoom, we have 2 brand new tools. All right, can I get a little bit of love for corporate in the chat? They're not on, but let's just show some gratitude because they always have our backs. When we need something, we go to them and talk to them, and every single time they provide it. It is one of the coolest things about being a part of not just any company, but Emrys, because they listen, they know what we need, and they give it to us every time. I love it, you guys. So we have new tools. There are tear-off pads, okay? So they are in your back office. So there's 3 different tear-off pads. And what they are, if you guys don't understand what a tear-off pad is, it's going to be a pack like this. And at the very top of the pad, it's kind of like it has a sticky thing in it. You're able just to tear it off, and it's a 2-sheeter. So whether you're working at expos, whether you have an in-person event, whether you're going to meet with a prospect, maybe you're signing a brand new brand ambassador that day and you want to go through some training with them, okay? There's 3 sheets. One is all about products. One is Discover Emrys, the business overview. And so here's the thing, you guys, if you're brand new, you don't need to have all of the answers and know the ins and outs of every ingredient and product. You just need to have those 2 tear-off sheets. You can read, right? Raise your hand if you can read. Can we all read? Let's hope so, okay? If you can't, we have videos. You can just press play, right? But we can all read, and that's the best thing that shows duplication. So you go to one of these one-on-ones, you tear off the sheet, and I'm going to bring the whole pad with me, and so they can see that this is duplicatable. They can see the pad and how thick it is, and they'll know that I'm going to rip off every single one of them, right? That my business is growing. So you're going to tear off that sheet in front of them, put the pad away, and go through the Discover Emrys Business Overview. When you get to the products, you can tear off that product sheet, go through it with them, and then give them to them so they leave with that in hand. The next tear off sheet is the legacy blueprint. So when you sign a brand new person on your team, that is our training. That is what we're doing. That is the blueprint for success. You're going through that system with them. You guys, these are amazing tools. So we now have access to these in your eSuite in your back office. If you were to go to home, log in home, and then click down on place an order. And then they're right there in the back office. So the next tool is a video. And you guys probably saw the teasers. They were teasing us of just little side clips of what this video was going to look like, but it is amazing. It is so professionally done. I love every part of it. The fact that this is something that as you're talking to prospects, you can send them the video. You guys, if you're brand new and you want to host your own event, maybe you don't have a leader around you, you can have a couple people over to your house and press play. How I would do that is introduce myself, say, thank you guys for coming. This is a little bit of my background. This is why I said yes to Emrys. Press play, let the video do the talking for you. At the very end, get up and close it out and say, okay, guys, what's your decision to make? You have two decisions today. Do you want to be a part of Emrys as a customer or a part of Emrys as a brand ambassador? And make that close for them. And then if you're following our team's guidelines and rules, and not rules, I shouldn't say that, but tips and tricks is having that third party call in and help you close it out. But those are some really amazing ways that you guys can use that video. Is not just texting the video out, sending it to prospects, but actually using it at your events and teaching your team to use it at events as well. All right, so let's get into some nitty gritty. I'm super excited for you guys to hear from some of these people tonight. Okay, so we're going to talk about promoting tonight. All right, and we're going to focus on executive and one-star exec, because we know that one-star executive is the building blocks to our business, right? When you can go one-star, you can teach one-star, and that duplicates out. But even further than that, the basics, the foundation of every one-star is executives, okay? So we're gonna highlight and talk to a few people at both of those ranks tonight. But what I want you guys to focus on and what I want you to think about when you're listening to them, if you don't have a piece of paper and a pen, make sure you guys go get them, because they're gonna give you some nuggets. They're gonna tell you how they did this and how they made it happen. But I want you thinking, what can I take from this to apply to my own business to duplicate what they just did, right? Success leaves clues, and they're going to give you guys lots of clues tonight. But look at what you need. What do you need to hit your promotion? Okay? Are you pushing for executive? Are you pushing for one-star? Are you pushing for two-star? Maybe are you pushing to requalify? Maybe you hit one-star last week and you want to requalify at one-star. Make sure you're there this week as well. Know what you need. Look at what you need. Okay? Look at those requirements. You got to have your PCV. You got to have your 4 personally enrolled. You've got to have that lesser leg volume, and then you've got to have an enrollment tree. So those are the 4 requirements that you're always going to look for in a promotion. So know what you need. If you don't know what you need, guess what you can do? You can raise your hand. You can ask an upline. You can say, hey, I'm pushing for this promotion and I need some help. I want to know what my requirements are so I make sure that I don't miss this promotion this week. I want to get it done by Thursday night, okay? So next thing is every single Friday. This is something that I do, okay? I'm going to teach you guys a couple of things. So every Friday, what you can do is you can log in, go to reports, go to graphical tree viewer, okay? And I want you guys to change the structure type to sponsorship. Change it from binary to sponsorship. So binary is going to show you your 2 legs. Sponsorship is going to show you all of your personally enrolled people, okay? And what I want you looking for are the people that haven't promoted to executive. If they've promoted to executive, there'll be a little E right there. Otherwise, it'll say BA for brand ambassador or SBA for senior brand ambassador. I want you looking at all of your personally enrolled and figuring out who has not promoted to executive yet, okay? Then grab a piece of paper right at the very top, running to executive. And I want you to write down all of their names. And that is your goal for this week. Your goal is to personally reach out to every single person that you brought into this business and say, hey, this is your week. Let's do it. Let's get you to executive. All you got to do is focus on 2 people. Who are 2 people? I want to help you, okay? So if you can focus on who you can run to executive, guess what, you guys? If you help other people get what they want, what happens to you? You get what you want, right? You guys are going to promote to 1 star because you're helping everybody on your team go executive. And how fun is that for you not to just hit your rank, but you're not doing it alone. You get to shout out all these people that are a part of it as well. So look at who you can run to executive that week. So all of the people that have yet to promote. And then the second thing that I look for is I would go into my lesser leg. So I would change the graphical tree viewer from sponsorship back to binary. Okay, I'd look at my lesser leg and my other leg because you want to make sure that both legs are at least 500 in volume. So what I would look for is all the people that are red, all of the people that are inactive. And I would, again, write down those people's names on a piece of paper and reach out to them and just say, hey, I want to make sure you get a paycheck this week and the next 4 weeks going forward. What can we do to get you active this week? So you have 2 options. You can either place an order if you're wanting to get some product and try some product, or you can go get a couple customers. What is the best option for you? Let them tell you, and then you come up with a game plan to help them, okay? So those are 2 ways that are gonna help you guys promote this week, is look at the people that have yet to go executive, focus on them. And the second thing is look at all of those people that are inactive and try to activate them. That right there is going to help you guys with volume. Now, the second thing that I want to tell you is this is just a numbers game. All right. So if I'm just going to focus on 1 star right now. So 1 star executive is both of your legs have to be at 500. Okay. Chances are one of them is going to be a little bit more. Your lesser leg has to at least be at 500. But for the sake of this, both of your legs have to be at 500, okay? So what does that look like? What is that? So if you just look at enrollments of new team members, say you have 7 people in your lesser leg. Between you and those 7 people, if you just enrolled 3 people at $4.99, that's 600. That's 600 in volume right there. 3 people. Do you think you can do that? Now, and it's not just you, right? It's not you enrolling 3 people. Maybe you might enroll 1 and somebody on your team enrolls 1 and somebody else enrolls the other. That's 3 right there, right? Or it's 6 to 7 people getting in at $1.99. Is that possible? Absolutely, right? Or it's 2 people getting in at $4.99 and 2 people getting in at $1.99. So 4 people that are enrolling. You guys, this is the consistency part. If you're staying in personal activity every single week, you and your team are enrolling. It might not be you this week. Maybe you enrolled somebody last week, but this week you're helping your new people go enroll 1 or 2. And then guess what's going to happen the next week? Then the next week you've got all of those people that you're helping run to executive and you're teaching them to go enroll. And every single week, the volume is doubling upon doubling upon doubling, and you're not just missing promotions, you're gaining promotions, you're double promoting. All of those things happen. Okay, that's just kits, you guys. That's not even including your VIP customer orders. That's just personally enrolling a few new team members in that leg. All right, so, all right, you guys want to hear from some people? Let's show them some love. I'm super excited. Okay, so first person, let me go ahead and find her, is Lindsay. All right, I just unmuted you. Are you there?
I think so. Can you hear me?
All right. Yes. Okay, you guys. Right. So this is Lindsay. I'm super excited for you guys to hear from her. So Lindsay, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself, a little bit of your background? Where do you live? Are you married? Do you have kids?
Sure. So I live in Hudsonville, Michigan, just outside of Grand Rapids. I am a physical therapist and a regional director for one of the nation's largest PT companies. I've quickly went up the ranks in the corporate world. I am married to my husband for 9 years in a week here, and we have 2 little girls. Olivia is 4.5 and Harper is 2.5.
Okay, so you're kind of busy. Like,
Yeah.
Busy. You've got some little kids, you're married, you have a super demanding job. You work. That was, I know, when you signed up, like you were just like, I start work so early and I'm constantly there. So what made you say yes to Emrys? What was that thing that you were like, I need to do this?
So about 6 or 7 years ago, I was presented with the opportunity to join Young Living Essential Oils, and just wasn't my thing. I'm a therapist by trade. Sales really wasn't my thing, but over the years, I've started to do a lot of selling therapy services, which is how I actually met Nikki. I call on her dad's office, and my friend who I said no to in Young Living, she has built to 7 figures. She and her husband both quit their jobs. They were bankrupt at one point, foreclosed on a house, and now have a home along the ocean in St. Augustine, Florida. So every day I regret saying no to her while I am working 70 hours a week at my corporate job. And I think it was because I felt like I couldn't do this and I wouldn't be one of the people to succeed. So instead of failing at it, I just chose not to do it. So when Nikki posted, I remember very vividly, she posted the Facebook post that you guys were out in, I think, Arizona, somewhere, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, launching the company. And it took me a couple days, but I'm like, hey, I want to know what you're up to. Because I know Nikki did stuff like this before. Her and I got close through the years. And I asked her and I ignored her for 3 weeks. And I finally decided to do it. And then the next morning I woke up and I was like, oh crap, what did I do? I will just call my credit card and tell them I did not make this purchase and get my money back, because I instantly thought I couldn't do it. But to say, with Nikki's coaching and stuff, I can't imagine not being part of this now.
Oh, I love that. Well, we can't imagine not having you a part of this. Like, you just came in and you're just such a bright spot. I love walking into Tuesdays and seeing your face. I'm so thankful that you're here with us and that you said yes, for sure. So I love that story, you guys. Like, she watched someone kill it and sit there and go, man, that could have been me, right? Okay, so you just promoted to executive a little bit ago. Can you give us a little bit of insight in how you made that happen? Like, what were the things that you were doing to ensure your promotion?
Sure. So I honestly I did not think I would get 2 people. A lot of my friends are kind of against this space. And the people who I actually enrolled was a random person who's become a friend at the pool. I just struck up a conversation with her because I thought she was working for Emrys. She was writing down names of people. So I approached her at the pool. We started chatting and took her to Nikki's house on that following Tuesday, and she joined there. And then the second one is actually a physician that I work with, who is going to hopefully be placing his order here, but he signed up as a brand ambassador to sell CBD oil out of his office because of the opioid and narcotic crisis that we have going on in the United States. So one of the reasons I decided to do this was just because of the people that I have access to as far as my connections in the physical therapy space. So I've been kind of using that to help conversations along, and it seems like the medical professionals I'm having the most success with. I am not a big social media person. I'm not a big builder on social media. I'm more like Nikki, belly to belly, having conversations with people. And I find that that's when I have the best conversations, is when it's not over text or over Facebook messages. And Nikki and I just talked about this today, is when I'm with them, taking them out to dinner before, and just really getting to know them and their why. And then the biggest thing is Nikki's help. Like, she has been amazing from the start, even before we really started talking about third-party validation. Before Matthew and Eileen came in, I was fortunate enough to have dinner with them. Nikki helped me close Dave Barney, the family medicine practice. She came with me on Sunday and had the conversation. She also helped me with Becca, and I think, I don't know, Nikki, you can correct me, we probably have like 7 or 8 different 3-way conversations going right now. So that has been by far the biggest and the best thing, because when I kind of feel like maybe I'm being a little bit too pushy, I'll text Nikki or she'll call me and we start the conversation up the other person does. So it's not like one person always coming at them.
I love that. So you've really used third-party validation as a way to help close your guests, and you're using that upline support. So I have an announcement to make. We ran a contest, and Eileen had said, I want to help your team. What can I do? And I had said that we just started kind of introducing this third-party validation. And so I put it out last week that you guys, every single person that you put in a third-party validation, screenshot it. Lindsay, you won.
I'm so excited.
You were the only one that got all 10. So you did at least 10 third-party validations. That is incredible. So I'm going to connect you and Eileen tonight after this call so you guys can set up a time.
Great.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Okay, so I'm going to move over to Jenny Field. I'm so excited. You guys, she is our newest one-star executive. She just hit it last Thursday, and I am so proud of you, and I cannot wait for everybody to hear from you. So, all right, let's go ahead and unmute you. Oh. Okay, there you are. Yay! Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
How are you?
I am fantastic.
Good. Okay, so tell us a little bit about you. What's your background? How long have you been in this? Married, kids? Give us the deets.
Give you the deets? Okay. I just recently quit my full-time job. I was an athletic secretary at a high school, so I decided at the end of the year not to go back. I am pursuing Emrys full-time. I have a boutique in my home, and I'm a realtor. So I have lots of things going on at one time. I am married. I've been married for 31 years. I have 2 grown children, and I started this in March.
Yeah, so you've been with us since soft launch, which is really fun and incredible. Awesome. Okay, and where do you live?
Colorado Springs.
All right, and you are hosting corporate there with Sarah next week, right? Or is it this week?
Tomorrow.
Woo woo. I'm so excited for you and your team that you guys get to hang out with them and have them there. Okay. So you've been with us since March. So you've kind of seen the very beginning of this. What made you say yes to Emrys?
It was really bizarre. One of my really good friends called me in January, and she told me something big is coming your way, and I have no idea what it is. And she's just one of those people that's pretty intuitive. I listen to her. Sometimes I think she's crazy, but I thought, okay, I'll just keep my eyes and ears open. And she'd touch base every couple of weeks and say, hey, has anything big happened yet? And I was like, nope. So in March, a friend of mine from high school called that I've known, like friends for years, but we never have talked on the phone. If I see her, we see her, but it's just one of those connections. And she called and I thought, well, that's kind of weird. I wonder what she's calling about. And so she told me about Emrys. I got on a Zoom call that night, called her back and said, I'm all in. This is, I think, is what my friend was telling me to be looking for, and haven't looked back. So.
Oh my gosh, that's super exciting. I love that you took that intuition and just kind of knew right away in the very beginning. Okay, so you just promoted to 1-star, and Steph has just been raving about how you worked all the way up until the wee hours of the night to make this happen, which is exactly how you promote, right? Things don't just happen, you make them happen. So tell us a little bit, what were some things that you were doing maybe in that last week to really ensure your promotion, to make sure it was going to happen?
I think it was a culmination of things. I got serious about being on the legacy calls and the Ignite calls every single week. And they make a huge difference. When you tap in, when you've had a bad week, you get uplifted, you get renewed, and you're like, okay, I can keep on running. When we did the 90-day challenge, well, we're 30, I don't know how many days, 36, 37 days into that, I was like, okay, I'm all in. And that was slower progress. And then you started doing power hours, and I was like, all right, I'll just do this. And with the power hours, the first one I told Steph, I got onto the call, cried through the whole hour, did not do anything. And I was just so overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? So the next morning I got up, I got back on the call and just started processing through. And when this last week, on the last couple of calls, it's been third-party validation. And I thought, I was so tied up in like, well, they're so busy. I don't want to take their time. They're just so busy. And I thought, okay, if they're promoting this, I'm going to ask. So Steph did a Zoom call for me last Wednesday, and I had a couple of people that surprised me that were on there. One was a gal that I talked to back in March who was like, nope, not interested. And I was like, okay, no worries. And I just touched base with her. She's somebody I used to work with. And so she was on that call Wednesday night. And I said, hey, what are you thinking? What questions do you have? And she's like, we need to talk. I'm like, okay. She said, can I call you tomorrow? And I'm like, yep. So Thursday morning, I mean, I didn't have anything in my lesser leg Wednesday night when I went to bed. I got up Thursday morning and there was numbers there. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's time to run with this. And then the gal called me back and she's like, well, I'm just going to be a founding partner. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, oh, so now I have a little bit more. So I'd been in network marketing before, and I'd spent 20 years there and had mediocre success. And there were some things that I learned along the way that I just decided I was never going to do again. Mm-hmm. So I was being very intentional in how I was approaching people or what I was going to say. And so I'd had a couple of team members who were like, oh, I really need to place my order. And they hadn't yet. And we all get busy. We all get busy. And so I just reached out and they were like, oh yeah, we're heading to dinner, but I'll do my order. And you're like, okay. And you're like, it's 5:00. I hope you're back soon. So I contacted somebody else and I contacted somebody else, just people who had said, oh, I love the products. I need products. So it rolled on. So I'm not kidding. We're an hour ahead. So at like 9:45, Carol, hers was all done. My friend was trying to put her order in and she got the credit card decline thingy through her bank. And I'm like, okay, you got to get on the phone. You got to call the bank. You got to get this done. And she's like, okay. So now she's stressing and I'm like, don't stress, just call, this will get done. And Jenny Amon, we were on a 3-way text and Jenny's like, we got like 4 minutes. And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So I'm standing in my closet with my computer because my husband would have been talking to me and I wouldn't have been able to get anything done. So I'm standing in the closet thinking, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. So we pushed. I mean, it was literally the last minute. And I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I'm never waiting until the last minute again. I'm going to start Friday. To get that. But it was one of those things that I think I had to go through to know just to push through. The final minutes where it's at, just push through. And I'd seen that before in the other company that I worked for, and I knew it happened, but it had never happened for me. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to keep at it. And those two hung with me until the very end. They were with me when the adrenaline rush was still there because you're like, well, I can't go to bed now. There's no way.
Like 2 because you're so excited.
Exactly. And we're trying to make sure that it's all done and going back through things. So the support system is amazing. And it's just tapping in, just every day tapping in to do something. And if I can't be on a power hour, I now have the list of, okay, do this and this. And the things that I've learned that I had no idea before with social media stuff, I'm like, oh, I've used it in my other 2 businesses. Like, it's just one of those things that it's simple. And sometimes when it's simple, it's almost harder because you think it can't possibly be that simple. And so it's just processing through every step of the way and asking for help, reaching up and asking for help. And that was one thing. It's not, I just had never thought of it. And that's all it really took. And now I had 7 or 8 on that leg who were just kind of hanging, doing nothing. And now they were on that call. So they're excited. And now they're coming tomorrow night and they're excited. So it just takes one thing.
Yep.
To start a ball rolling.
I love that. Well, I am so proud of you. And I know Steph and Jenny are just so proud of you.
Amazing.
For you. I love everything you said. Not only are you plugging in, you're getting on the right things, you're getting people in front of your uplines to help close it out, but you also made a decision. And a lot of times that's what people lack, is they're just not saying, okay, I mean, a lot of people give up on Tuesday or Wednesday when they don't see that volume there, and you didn't see that volume there and you still push. So that is incredible, Jenny. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you and so excited for you. So Okay, guys, we've got one more. I know it's 9:30. We try to keep these 30 minutes, but I really wanted you to hear from these three women tonight. And so Samantha is the last person that you guys are going to hear from. Let me go ahead and find her. I believe she still has, there she is. Okay, I just saw her. She is at a campground. So, all right, Sam, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. All right, girlfriend. So tell us a little bit about you. Who is Samantha Miller?
So I am a mother of three. I have three kids by three different dads. So we come from a very blended family. My kids all have siblings as well. And, sometimes I have their siblings with us. And I'm currently not married, but my boyfriend and I have been together for almost 5 years. So waiting for that ring, but we have a lot of debt to pay off. So that's kind of what, like, some of my major whys are my kids, my family. I need to pay off a lot of debt. So that's kind of me. I currently own my dad's restaurant. I took that over recently to keep it in the family. The building has been there since 1941. So yeah, so I definitely wanted to keep that piece of history around. And so I took that over recently. So I'm just super busy, but busy people get things done. So
That's right. That's right. Okay, so how long have you been in, and what made you say yes to this business?
So I got started actually, I think 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks on Tuesday will be my 1 month. And I did not even think that I was gonna say yes to this business. Personally, was not looking for something else. Like I said, I'm running a restaurant. That's a lot of work, a lot. And I was in the industry in another company, and I've looked at and tried other companies, and I just never felt like I fit in those other places. Like, just something was always missing. And so I was watching you, and we met at Dream Space officially, one of the events that we went to. It was a mindset event, and it was really, really awesome. And we officially met in person then, but I had been watching you for a long time on social media. And I just was intrigued by some of your posts about Emrys. You just really intrigued me. So I reached out just to kind of see what was up. You invited me to the event that just so happened to be Matthew and Eileen there, and I got to meet them. But another thing that kind of sealed the deal for me was that I see Nikki there, and she is my doctor's daughter, and he's been my doctor since I was 12 years old. And although he's an OB, I literally use him for everything. Like, I don't have a normal doctor. And she's always like, you have no idea how many people say that. But I just love him. And so when I seen her there, it just kind of just was like, I felt like everything that I did in the past led up to this. And that was my reason for doing all those other things.
I love that you were created for just as time as this. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went executive your first week, your very, very first week. And I have watched you lead by example with enrolling people every week. I mean, even today, you're like, I'm enrolling another person today. Like, you are just killing it. So can you kind of tell us some of the things that you're doing? What are you using? How are you sealing the deal? What are you doing? Are you doing in-person events? Are you using third-party validation?
So I've always kind of just done everything. Like, anytime I kind of use the 7-foot rule. If there's a human within 7 feet of me, I'm gonna talk to them. Even if Sam too is next to me, she's laughing because she knows that I'm right. But even if it's on social media, if it's in person, I personally love in person better because you can feel my passion and hear it in my voice. But even on social media, but even in the grocery store, I mean, we stand in line at the grocery store and there's nothing to do in that line. So instead of on my phone, I just talk to people. I'll look at someone and just say, oh, I like your shirt. How are you? And just strike up a conversation. And then eventually it just gets brought up. People either complain about their health or their finances. It's like the top two things that people complain about. It gets brought up in every conversation that you can possibly think of. And I just bring it up. Or someone always brings up, well, what do you do? Well, this is what I do. And you ask them what they do, and then they're like, well, I do this, but I really don't like it. And so it just naturally gets brought up, and I don't hold back. I give people the information. If they don't want it, it's totally fine. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm just that much closer to a yes.
I love that. Your mindset is just incredible. And I think the thing, Sam, that I love about you is like you're already hosting your own events. Like Nikki and I couldn't be there last week, but you hosted your own event. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Did you present or did you use the tools that we have?
Yeah, so actually I just kind of introduced myself, basically what I just said to you guys. I just said who I was and why I got started with Emrys. And then I literally looked up a YouTube video because my TV, there's a smart TV, and I looked up one of your YouTube videos. I was scrolling through and I couldn't find the newest one, but I just played one that you had before. And then at the end, I stopped it and I updated everybody with the updated information. But it was just the easiest duplicatable way. I wanted everybody to see that they could literally just say, hey, who they were, tell why they got started, and hit play on a video on YouTube or whatever. And I feel like that's the best way because you don't have to know everything. You can just hit play. I mean, everyone knows how to hit play on a DVD or YouTube, right?
Right. Exactly. I love that. And you were also one of those people that was right up there in the running for that third-party validation contest, because I know you use me for every single person, whether you bring them to an event and you introduce them to me and I'm able to edify you in that, or get me on the phone, FaceTime. You're just doing an incredible job, just like Jenny and just like Lindsay. You guys all three are building this business the right way. And when Aspen talks about you just got to do enough of the right things to have success, that's what the three of you guys are doing. So Sam, do you have any last minute tips that you can give anyone if they're pushing for a promotion this week?
I do. It's 80% mindset and 20% skill, but I highly suggest getting on the training videos on Discover Emrys, because that's the first thing I did was I got on those training videos. And then when I got my little kit in the mail, I filled this legacy blueprint out. I literally, you guys, this thing is like so overfilled. I probably overdid it a little bit, but this is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire career. This thing is literally your whole entire business in a little booklet, and this will promote you. Just fill it out. I'm a firm believer in just when you write things down or you speak over them and pray over them and speak them into existence, and you know you're going to hit that goal and you just believe it, you're going to. So, and it works. It works every time. So I highly recommend doing the training, plugging into everything that you possibly can, whether it's a Zoom or the power hours in the mornings or the corporate calls or this blueprint or the Discover Emrys, all of those trainings. There's a buffet of trainings, and when you're hungry, just eat from those buffets, fill yourself up, and then you can overflow into other people and pour into them.
I love that. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so one thing, when Steph and I were at the Director Summit, Aspen had said something about how they created the legacy blueprint so that people could literally say, I got started and I filled out the legacy blueprint, and because of that, this has happened. And I love that, Sam.
Literally.
Yes, you just said that, because that is exactly what Aspen said at the Director Summit. As she was talking about, that is exactly like the design in place of that booklet. So that is
well, it worked and it's amazing.
I'm super excited to share that with her. Okay, guys, well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Can we see some love for the ladies in the chat? You guys, all three.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your hearts, what you're doing, what you're working on. And I'm so, so proud of each of you guys. You guys are killing it and lead by example for all of your teams. Okay, so one last thing. I want you guys to leave this with a little bit of some action. I want you guys to set your intention for the rest of the week. It's Monday, so we have the rest of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, you heard Jenny say she promoted in one day. She made a decision on Thursday that she was going to make it happen, right? But you also heard her say she'll never do that again. She wants to start earlier in the week. So You guys, we have 3 days left. What's your intention? What is your goal for the rest of the week? Time is not refundable, so use it with intention, okay? So I want you guys to get clear, set your laser focus, put on those blinders of what that intention is, declare it, right? Sam just said, you know, write it down, speak that into existence, you guys. Your focus, where you're focusing, where you're looking, where your intention is, it forms your future. It forms what's going to happen next, okay? So if you guys eat, breathe, sleep, the next couple of days, what that is for your business, I double dog dare you to do it. Okay, because it's going to happen. So some last minute reminders and we'll close up. The next Discover Emrys online opportunity event is tomorrow night, Wednesday night, every Wednesday. Okay, weekend is Thursday at 11:59 Eastern time. Okay, so if you're in a different time zone, make sure you guys know what that time zone is. When I was in Arizona, I left the event at 9 o'clock and weekend was over. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is a little crazy. Okay, early bird tickets for Emrys right now are $204. So make sure you guys go on there. Make sure you get your teams there. It's going to be an incredible event. And every single day, Monday through Thursday, unless otherwise noted, we have 2 different power hours that you guys can plug into. All right, one is at 7 a.m. Eastern time and one is at 9:30 Eastern time. So 2 different opportunities for you guys to plug in and do some intentional focus and work. So I am so proud of all of you that got on here tonight and plugged in this evening. I'm going to let you guys go. I'd love to hear some of your intentions. I'd love to hear some text messages or Facebook messages with what your goal and what your attention is for the rest of the week, so we can come alongside of you and help you get that done and help you make that happen so you can be the next person interviewed and spotlighted on one of these calls or Facebook Live. So thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Lindsay, again for sharing your guys' heart and tips and tricks with us tonight. And I will let you guys go. Bye, everyone.